What up, what up, what up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So happy Tuesday to you guys. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope all is well with you guys. As you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. That is super, super important. Make sure you are hitting the like button as you come into the building. Hold on one second. I got to adjust my... Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. So I want to make sure that the audio is good before we start this. Okay. So make sure you guys put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. So shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to what's going on, Alex, Brandy, Zen is the name. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure as you come into the building, you are hitting the like button. That is super, super important. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Also, share and like the stream as well. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. So we're going to hop right into this one. I'm not going to keep y'all too long today, but I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys see the title. So I'm going to be sharing with you a few clips and of course, you know, I always like to share a couple of clips just to give clarity to the conversation. So I'm going to be sharing a few clips with you guys just to get your thoughts on it. So make sure you are chiming in the chat as well. All right. So what's going on, Monty? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I do apologize for being late, you guys. But as we go ahead and get into it, as you come in, make sure you hit the like button. So I'm going to go ahead and play the first clip. I thought this clip was interesting because this particular woman was basically, she was saying something good, right? She was saying something that made a lot of sense, but it didn't make a lot of sense to modern women. And for some reason, when you talk about things that, you know, are positive when it comes to dating and relationships and marriages and men, the new modern sisterhood do not like it. They don't like it. Because they've already made their minds up and they have this idea that their way is the right way and there's no other way to do it. And anytime you have women with a difference of opinion, something that is more realistic, something that is more logical, a lot of these modern women, they get mad. They get mad because they believe their narrative and they don't want to hear anything else because remember, they're single, independent. They don't need a man. They can do it all by themselves. And they're independent women and it's their way or the highway. And they really believe what they're saying, even though they're not getting the outcomes. So when you hear women who speak separate from that, oh my God, they get mad. The women become pick-me's. Oh my God, you're a pick-me. You just want to get picked. Oh my God, you're this, you're a mammy, you're this. So they tend to shame even the women who have a difference of opinion, a more logical, reasonable opinion when it comes to dating, men, marriages, and all of that. So I wanted to just kind of set the stage for the clip, but I'm going to go ahead and play it and I'm going to react to it. And I definitely want you guys to chime in, let me know your thoughts on it. So let's get into it. Here we go.
I may get canceled for this, but I don't want my husband to just work and pay bills. I don't want him to not have a hobby. I don't want him to not have healthy mental health. I don't want him to not have savings. I don't want him to work and slave all day, every day to take care of my bills, our bills, and me just sit there and not contribute anything. This is coming from a young lady who has never been married. I don't have any kids. I have a dog. I'm fully educated, pay my own bills right now, and it is difficult. I have a great career, and it is difficult. So when I think of getting married and building with someone or coming together and bringing our assets together, I could never lay in my bed knowing that my husband has no life and no freedom and maybe no peace because all he does is work and pay bills. So
Now, before I let her finish, this is the thing that a lot of the hyenas, the modern sisterhood, were pissed about. So they were mad because this lady is speaking from a perspective of inclusion. She doesn't just want a man for money, is what she's saying. She wants a man who she can spend time with. She doesn't just want a man just to be the provider and that's it. She actually wants a relationship. She wants a companion. She wants to build a life with a man. And I mean, I thought that's what most women wanted, but it seems today that a lot of women just want a man for financial, reasons. You just want him to pay your bills, take care of you, but you don't really want a real solid relationship. A lot of these modern women claim that they've been used and abused, and now they're in it for somebody to pay all their bills. So when you hear realistic women come out and speak on what a relationship should really look like, oh my God, they lose their mind. Their heads spin like the Reagan on The Exorcist, because they cannot take it. It burns. It burns. It burns. Like Reagan on the Exorcist. The truth hurts. And and instead of accepting it, they just tend to get mad and insult these women because they just have it in their minds once again that, listen, either you're going to pay all my bills or you're going to go. And this is why a lot of them are single, complaining, and struggling by themselves. And I don't know about you, but I think it's better to work with somebody and you guys combine your resources and work and build together than you sitting out here struggling all by your lonesome. And this is what they're experiencing. The majority of them already have kids. So now, on top of you're struggling to take care of these 3 kids from Pookie and Ray Ray and whoever else. What's that name? From Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nug Nug. Hell, and you out here struggling taking care of these kids. The fathers ain't contributing, and you're struggling. But all the while, you're an independent boss chick. You don't need no man, but you're struggling and you want one, but you can't get one because your attitude is whack. And your expectations are unrealistic. And you looking for a millionaire to come in and just sweep you off your feet and just give you a soft girl life where you can just prop your feet up and do nothing. You want maids and nannies and cooks and chefs, and you want everything, baby. You want everything in 20 bags of chips. You want to sit back, take girls trips every week, and you don't want to have a care in the world. Now, listen, a lot of us wouldn't want to have a care. A lot of us would like to just prop our feet up all the time. Child, I'm pretty sure people get tired of going to work. Work is not always easy. I'm pretty sure the majority of people would want to be able to just kick their feet up and not have to work all the time and struggle. Nobody wants that. Of course, we all would want a softer life. That's what people strive for. You strive to work hard and build something for yourself. So as you get older, you can sit back and kind of relax a little bit and enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? It's not about just meeting. That's why you want a man at the finish line. You want him to come in with it all figured out and just take care of you while you don't have to do anything, which is crazy. And I mean, hell, who wouldn't want that? And see, listen, and coming from a place of being a housewife myself for the years, just being a housewife, it still worked though. See, that's the thing. Being a housewife is not what they really want. Let's make that clear. They want this soft girl with his life of leisure. They want it, like I said, they want a rich man to come and just pay everything, give them stacks of cash, go on trips with girls, do whatever it is you want, dress how you want, just be you. Do you, be you, and I'm the man, I'm going to work to my fingers, to the skin fall off my bones and my fingers. I'm gonna work hard because somehow they don't think that men who make that kind of money don't have to work. Somehow they think being a CEO or being in a position to acquire that type of funds, they don't understand the work that goes into it. This is another thing. That's why I say a lot of these women are delusional. You're delulu on so many levels. You think that men who make that kind of money don't have to work hard to maintain that? You think that that money is just coming out of the thin blue sky and they could just constantly just, put it in a blower and blow it out to you and they don't have to worry about maintaining that? Like, I don't understand. Just because he may not do blue collar work, or he may not do work that is visibly hard to you, doesn't mean that he's not working hard to make that kind of money and maintain it. Then on top of that, if you're a superficial person and all you care about is money, if that man falls on some type of hard time and that money is not coming in, you're ready to up and dip out. So there's no loyalty in these types of women. There's no real solid commitment with these women. All they want to do is use and abuse you and then run to the next who can continuously finance their lifestyle. And when they see a woman who does not, because like I said, there are women who don't believe that, and I'm happy to see more women who think differently coming out and talking about it, because it's not just about that. That is not what makes healthy, stable relationships. And I say it over and over again because I think somebody needs to get it, especially if that's what you want. If that is what you want, you need to understand that's not how you get it. So let's go ahead and play a little bit more of what she had to say. Here we go. Hit the like button, you guys.
So that I can enjoy, as if he doesn't deserve to enjoy. I truly want a partnership. I want to contribute. And I'm not talking about if this man was a billionaire, trillionaire, and we just got money flowing everywhere. But what's the likelihood of that? I just can't fathom. And there are some women who can fathom. They don't think about their men, their mental health. I think about my own mental health with the stuff I be going through right now. Bills, mortgage, no. Your dog gets sick, you get sick. You gotta go out, you gotta be out for work for a week now because blah blah blah. I just I want a healthy partnership. I want my significant other to know my wife got me. I want him to not be afraid to come home if he gets laid off, if something happens at work, if he becomes sick and has to take off work for a little bit. I want him to know my wife got us. We got savings because my wife been working. My wife contributes. It's not just on me. I think we really need to think about how that feels for someone when everything is on them. All the taking care of the kids and their bills and what it costs to feed and uh, clothe and get them into these different schools and activities. You have a wife, you have a house, there's cars, there's vacation potentially, there's 401k, there's healthcare, there's a bunch of things that I'm probably not even naming off. And then your world falls apart. And now who is going to help out with that? Some of the videos that I see on social media is just disappointing because it goes to show how men are really not thought of. Their mental health isn't cared about,
Facts.
their peace isn't cared about, their interests aren't cared about. And as somebody who had a father who took care of us, and my mom didn't have to want for nothing, she still decided to work. And she was a stay-at-home mom. We had a nanny, all those things. And she, at whatever point, decided to go back to work. And she has always raised us and told us it's a partnership. Don't let that man just do everything. That man has heart and feelings. That man has a million things going on in his head. You, as his helpmeet, be a helper. Bring some peace and some ease to him. he deserves to have hobbies too. He deserves a life too. So all this rhetoric on the internet about I need a provider man and I just want to sit and twiddle my thumbs and go on trips and not account for anything, you have to understand where the weight of bills, which is real for all of us, is going to go. That man.
Right. And and just to piggyback on what she's saying, it's what she's saying is, listen, okay, if you really want a solid relationship with a man you care about, why would you want him to work his fingers to the bone where you have no time to spend with him? Y'all have no time to build, y'all have no time to spend and do things and build a life together. You have no time for it because he's working so hard. And in most of these cases, a lot of these women don't really care about that because all they care about, is him making the money. And as long as he's making the money and she's getting what she wants, that's all that matters. And I think that's what she's saying. She does not want that in a marriage or a man. She wants something more sufficient. And why did the sisterhood, the hyenas, baby, come for this woman? Why? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't know. It seems like a lot of these women are lost and there's something going on. I'm telling you, I saw a video of somebody talking about the children, how weird the young boys are acting and how weird the children are these days. It's because look who's raising them. I mean, if you have women who think like this, not like her, but the hyenas who think the way they think, raising children, oh my God, it's no wonder why the kids are acting weird and why they seem weird and thrown off because look who's raising them. They have no real morals or values. Anything goes. And you're passing that down to your sons and your daughters. The same way we talk about women always complaining about, these men are too sassy and too feminine. But who raised them though? They don't want to go there because it's like, well, where the fathers that they left the household, there was never, you didn't require a father. You didn't require a stable relationship. You were out getting to the D. That's what they say. I was just out here getting to the D. I wasn't worried about all that. And I just happened to get pregnant. Well, you got to understand, if that's the way you roll, then you're going to get the consequences of the way you roll. So if you rolling out here just throwing that cooch on anybody and then you didn't plan for that pregnancy. You didn't get married to a man who wanted a family. You was out here trying to get to the D, spreading it, laying it low and spreading it wide. And then you got a baby and now you're responsible for the burden of the raising of that child. Now you complaining, but you didn't care. You didn't prioritize having a family the right way. You didn't go about doing it the right way. You didn't get married to a guy who said, hey, yeah, I love you enough I want to marry you and give you my last name and then let's create a family. No, you was out there doing you. And doing you somehow always means opening your legs wide and giving it to whoever. And then you don't think that there's negative consequences to that. That's the part I don't understand. And listen, I'm all for people learning from their mistakes. I'm not that cold-hearted to where I don't think that people can do better or change. I think that it's possible for anybody who wants to do it. If you want to do better, you can do better. If you learn from your mistakes, you can learn from your mistakes and do better. I'm not going to crucify because it ain't my position to do it in the first place. So I'm not going to crucify somebody for making an actual mistake and learning and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I was down bad. I didn't know no better, or I just willingly made that choice. Whatever the case may be, you decided, you know what, that wasn't a good look, but I changed my ways and now I'm doing something differently. I'm getting help. I'm learning to do better and I'm doing better. That's a difference. That's how I feel about women who've become a single mother once. If there are women out here who are actually young and dumb, because that's the excuse they always give, which we all have been young and a little dumb at times. But what I'm saying is, when do you ever learn the lesson? When do you ever grow up and realize the errors of your ways? So if you were young and you literally made a mistake, or you was in a situation that caused that to happen or whatever, take accountability for your part in it and learn from it. So if you became a single mother once and you realize that ain't what I want, that's not what I planned for, I don't want that. That was a mistake. The child is not the mistake, but the mistake you made was a mistake, and you change your life around and do something with yourself, build yourself to a better state mentally, and learn from that, and then teach you, use your experience as a tool to kind of let other young women know, hey, don't go that route. I can respect that because we're human. I'm not that type of cold-hearted person where, I can't understand when people make mistakes. But if you keep doing it over and over and over and over and over, you 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times, baby mama, baby, you ain't learned a goddamn thing. You ain't learned nothing. These are willful acts, as my husband would call it. These are willful acts. You haven't learned a goddamn thing. You just want to do what you want to do in the name of I'm grown and I can do what I want. Nobody can't check me. Nobody can't tell me what to do. So you keep doing that same old thing, thinking you're going to get some type of amazing result at the end of the goddamn rainbow. You're going to all of a sudden just get this magical man that nobody has ever seen, and he's not going to worry about your past. You could have had 1,000 body count, and it don't matter, right? Oh, he shouldn't be worried about your past, because if he a real man, then he gonna be okay with me, sleeping with 1,000 men or whatever. You know what I mean? He's not gonna worry about your body count. You can have 3, 4 baby daddies. He don't care. And you want him to have the most money. You want him to be fit. You want him to be attractive. You want him to be faithful. You want him to want you and take on all your kids and pay for all of them. You want him to be rich. You want him to give you the soft girl life. You want him to give you this unrealistic, unbelievable lifestyle that most people don't have. You want him to be a super ninja. That's what you're looking for. They looking for super ninjas. They really are. You want this unicorn super ninja to pop out with the cape on it, with the cape on, with the with the S on his chest, the super simp who gonna just give you money, trips, lifestyle, luxurious, and make you sit on have you on a bed of clouds, sitting back, and all your kids taken care of because he's paying for it, and you ain't got to do a goddamn thing. You can just sit back. This is what you want to be rewarded for all your horrible decision making, lack thereof of decision making skills. You want to be rewarded for your foolery. This is what they don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. But of course, when you feel like that, there's no logic in those feelings. It's all about what you feel. It's all about what you believe. It's all about what you think you can manifest. It's all about what it is that you want. And it doesn't matter what he wants. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. You want what you want, and that's what you want. Now, just because you want it don't mean you're going to get it. And that's what they're realizing. So you rather say, oh, these men are sassy. Oh, why these men are different, Oh, these men, they don't treat us like they used to. They don't treat women like they used to, because these are modern women. These aren't women that you look at and have a whole lot of respect for. Because they don't present respectable lady. They present modern, independent, aggressive women. You know what I mean? They don't. There's no incentive for men to want to treat these women like ladies because they don't respect and treat themselves that way. Successful. What's going on, Successful MD? Thank you so much for the super chat. Says DeeDee, I live in a vacation resort area. I would say that many men look beat down from working hard when they come here for a vacation with spouses. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's like, but when you think about it, when these men got to go out and work, when all of the burden is put on them to provide and do the things that they naturally want to do now. When you think about it, and I had to, listen, like I always say, listen, I'm not perfect either. I was raised by a single mother, so there's some single mother traits in there, and it has to take a while for me to start to really change my thought process and look at things differently too. This is why I know how these women think and operate. As a woman, I know, but also you just don't come out of a single motherhood led household unscathed. You don't come out of that with certain mentalities. That's why, I say you can learn and change if you want to, and open and broaden your horizons to something new. But it doesn't happen overnight. See, if you're 40 years old now and you're just starting to hear this information, it's going to be jarring. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be like, oh, hell no. What the? Because that single motherhood mindset is still in you. It takes years for you to start to come out of that and start seeing things a little bit more logical and realistically. So this is why I can say this, because it's coming from a place of experience. You know what I mean? I had to grow and learn myself, but I had a longer time to do it. And I was younger. So it's like these women have not learned anything. They're 40 years old to the point now they're stuck in their ways and you can't tell them anything. So they're not even open for change. This is I would say, part of the reason why men say, hey, go a little younger, because you can, maybe they have not been poisoned by that mentality, and maybe they can grow and with you, as opposed to being stuck in that mindset like a lot of these older women are. So I say that to say, yeah, it's like a lot of women have been programmed to think that all a man is good for is paying your bills. All he is good for is financials. All he is good for is doing everything for you and nothing else. And I think that is the wrong approach to take. And any man who you're telling that to, they're not going to want to deal with you, because nobody wants to be looked at as just, a wallet. All you care about is what I can provide for you. All you care about is what I can give you. And when I'm not giving you anything, you're turned off. You got your lip turned up and you pissed off and you pout your mouth pouted up and you mad because you can't have your way. What type of relationship? That's not an honest, solid relationship, because it's a one-sided deal. All you want is what this man could provide. And this is why when you have women who blatantly say, if the man comes home and lose his job, that's a wrap. She out. And I'm just like, well, damn, like, y'all don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. They don't care about you. They don't care about they don't care about what you got to go through. They don't care about what men go through. They don't care about any of it. All they care about is, hey, what you can do for me. You better have my money. And if you ain't got my money, then I'm out. Like, come on. And you don't think that that's going to lead to widespread division between men and women, because men are tired. Men don't want to be treated as just a resource and that's it. But then at the same time, you're calling them dusty and you're saying that they're bottom of the barrel, but you're still depending on them to do the most. And why would they do the most for you? This is why there's pushback from a lot of men who are saying, hell no, I'm not paying your bills. I'm not doing nothing for you. I'm not doing it because why should I? You're not even worth my resources. You're not trying to show any reciprocation. You're not trying to do anything to work with me. All you want to do is take advantage. So I think that's partly why we're in this, the state that we're in now when it comes to dating and relationships. And on top of that, a lot of men would love to get married, but they're skeptical because they don't want to get in a whole marriage dealing with a woman who's been a chameleon and then comes out and all she is a gold digger. So men don't want to deal with that. So this is, but what's baffling to me is how a lot of women play like they're delusional and play like they don't know how did we get here? How did the men become so sassy? Oh my God. What happened? Why there's no chivalry anymore? These men, they don't open the door for you. They just get in the car, shut the door. Oh, well, you open to get in. Why? Why the men don't open the doors for you? Why the men? Because y'all said y'all didn't want it. See, but they pretend like they don't know how we get to, just miraculously somehow men just stopped, catering to women. They just all of a sudden said, oh my God, these women ain't worth it. No. Y'all had a big major part to play in it, but they act like they have amnesia. Like, what? Why are men so, why they don't treat us like they do? Well, look at the state of modern women. Look how they act. Look at what they say. Look how they dress. Look how they are. And they're teaching it to their daughters, and they're coming up with the same mentality. So you can answer your own question. Look at yourself. Look at the state of all these women. These in these 3 or 4 Magic City uniforms. Look at that. Look at how they present themselves. And you tell me if that's something that men should, cater to and run behind and treat like they're princesses and queens and all of this. You just look around. So it's not like they just woke up and said, oh no, we're going to just start ignoring these women. No, y'all had a big part to play in it. Y'all told them you didn't want them. You told them they don't measure up. You told them hey, basically you got to be rich and pay all my bills on day one. A lot of unrealistic expectations. And a lot of this stuff should not even be put in public. A lot of this stuff is a bunch of BS, and it's never going to be conducive to a healthy relationship, let alone a healthy long-term marriage. Marriage is a commitment between two people. You vow to work together through thick and thin. It's not about me just having my way or the highway. No, y'all supposed to work together. And sometimes there could be little obstacles, but you work through them. That's the whole point of being committed to each other, that you're going to work through the different issues. And when I say issue, it doesn't have to be majorly crazy issues, because people always like to go to the extremes. But no, just that two people who may have some differences, y'all figure it out because you vowed that you would. That's what a commitment and a marriage should look like, working together, not, oh, as soon as you lose your job, I'm out because I told you I wanted a provider. What? Just because there's some difficulties or that's a part of life. People don't understand. They understand it when it's happening to them. When you see all these women online crying about, I traveled, I had to move to another state for a job, and then when I got there, a couple of months later, they fired me. Now you crying, saying it's not right, it's not. So you do understand that life comes with different obstacles, right? But why, when it comes to men, it's so they don't go through nothing? They don't have obstacles. They don't. People, you think because a man has a job that he can't get laid off? Like, I don't understand the foolery that is coming out of their mouths. They understand that they out here struggling and they barely making it. These OnlyFans and models, whatever you want to call them, sex workers. They understand when the business is slow. They make videos about it. Oh, I'm making $20 today. I done been on a stripper pole for hours and all I made was $10. You know that's hard, huh? You know when hardships hit you. You know when you're struggling, when you're not making a lot of money, when business is down. But why don't you understand that for men? Why do you think it's so differently for men? They lose their jobs all the time. And they got to figure it out on their own, because there's no programs. There's no Section 8. There's barely any shelters for men. There's nothing set up for men to go get some help. They can't go over to the government assistance and say, hey, give me some money to hold me down until I find another job. There's no assistance programs to help them pay their light bills and pay all this stuff that women have access to. So they got to really get it out the mud and figure it out for themselves. But women have access to these things. And if you have children, even better. They have more programs to help single mothers than anybody else. So you get the opportunity to go apply for some type of assistance, and you will get it if you lose your job. But men don't have that. And if they're able to get something that's barely enough to even help them. There was this post, I think Celebrity, shout out to Celebrity, posted where this woman was bragging about getting $700 a month in food stamps. She said her rent was paid up for the year or something like that. She had no car note, but she was still getting government assistance. She didn't have she was getting government assistance. She made money. She didn't have a 9-to-5, but I think she was a hairstylist or something. She was making anywhere from I don't know if it was $3,000-$4,000 a month, but she was still getting government assistance and all this stuff paid for her, and so she's thriving. But men don't get those opportunities, and so I think if anything, women need to stop criticizing men and telling men, oh, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You lose a job, oh, just go get another one, like it's so easy all the time, when they themselves know that it's not easy for them and they're getting all kind of help to do it. So it's hypocritical, and it's very one-sided, and it's a delusional mindset for women to think this way. But this is how they've been brainwashed. This is how they've been taught to think. Oh, a man, there's no excuse for him, but that's all the excuses in the world for a grown woman. You're a grown woman. You got 2 legs, 2 arms. You got a brain. You can get up and go get you a job too. You can go and work too and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you figure it out just like men have to do. But y'all have an advantage. That's why y'all could go around and pretend like you're so independent and all this. But when you got Section 8, you don't pay no rent. You don't pay no damn rent. You don't pay no rent. You don't pay no, half of them don't pay light bills. You don't pay none of that. And then you sitting around wanting to get extra money from men so you can cushion your pockets and create this false lifestyle of paying for all this superficial stuff that you can't even afford. Because if Section 8 just shut it down and stop paying these rent, you'll see all the hyenas come out the woodworks. You will see them all over social media crying, saying, what is they gonna do? You'll see them out here, oh my God, they'll be losing it. If you cut all the government assistance off, if you cut OnlyFans, if you take away Section 8, OnlyFans, all of that, just that, Section 8, OnlyFans, no government assistance whatsoever, it's gonna be a nightmare, child. You're gonna see all these independent boss chicks out here screaming and crying, saying bloody murder. They're gonna have nothing but the GoFundMe's up. I'm just saying, it's gonna be GoFundMe city. They're gonna be all over the place. GoFundMe's, please help me and my kids. We're homeless and this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that they need to, take a step back and really look at themselves and stop trying to push the blame on men and realize that, these men don't have the same opportunities as they do, and stop trying to, and the idea of that, oh, if a man loses a job, you just out, it's just ridiculous to me. But if a man did that to them, if a man said, oh, you ain't got nothing going for yourself. What? You getting Section 8? What? You can go, I'm above that. I can't fool with you because you ain't really got nothing going for yourself. You a bum. Oh my God, they'll be crying bloody murder. They couldn't take it. They can't take the what's the word I'm looking for? They can't take the criticism that they put on men. They couldn't take it. The way they talk about men, if men turn that around, they'll be so crying and shaking and tripped out because, it will shine a light on you. It will show your insecurities and the things that you're lacking, and a lot of them can't deal. Let's play the rest of this little clip real quick.
You have to recognize while you are not having any stress and worry, what is happening to that man. You may not have the stress and worry, but now the man has his own stress and worry and is picking up your weight as well. I think it's just very different in regular working class people than rich. I'm not talking about rich people. And a lot of people that claim to be rich ain't even rich. A lot of people that claim that they got provider men don't really have them. And they might be providers financially, but what happens spiritually, emotionally, mentally? How do they treat your kids or y'all's kids? Because it's a lot going on TikTok with that. How do they treat you? It's just so much I want to say, but be very, very mindful of what you think you want. And if you say you are a woman of God, pray about it. Ask God the qualities of a man you should be looking for. I want a provider man. What does that look like? Because it's not just financial. And God can do a lot more with a man of God, and he will care for you in ways you can't imagine over you going over here dating folk that you don't got no business dating because you want a provider. You want to prove a point. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a lot of people that will rather go to hell to prove that they got all the bags and shoes and trips and sleep with somebody and be with somebody who they do not like and are not attracted to prove a point and live a life of luxury, all to go to hell. But who am I? Who am I?
Well, she got a good point. She has an amazing point. I mean, I don't think there was no lies detected from what she had to say because it's the truth. And the truth hurts. People don't like to hear the truth because they want to be right. They want to believe what they believe to the end. And if they can't get what they want, and if and they will not settle, but they know that it's not going to give them what they want anyway, so they rather go to the end, just believing what they believe, knowing deep down that ain't right, but they'll just go by themselves, to their 60, 70, or however old they get to, believing the hype, even though they realize, hey, damn, it ain't really working for me, So, they'll just continuously go and think and blame somebody else and blame the men and just, convince themselves that they made the right decision. Well, that's not going to be very beneficial for you. If you really want what you want, then it will make sense for you to do what's necessary to get it. Change your mindset. Do something, that will yield you the results that you want. But a lot of these people are stubborn. They don't want to, they think they got it in the bag. They think that, hey, you can't tell me nothing. I know what I know, even though you never experienced it. But you just know because the sisterhood told you, your mama and your grandmother told you, don't settle, go to college, get them degree, get all the degrees, and go out there and you won't be able to get you a rich man. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, they done set these women up for failure. For real, for real. They done set them up for failure and they believe the hype. They really believe it. And it is not benefiting them whatsoever. And you can't, get through to the majority of them. But there are, like I said, there are women who don't think like that, And you got to know how to separate the hyenas from the actual the women who actually have a better way of thinking and a woman who would be more, open to working with a man and building. And let me tell you something. If you find a woman who has that open mindset, those are the women that you need to grab if you're looking for a woman, because it ain't too many of them. But if you come across a woman who's open with work, grab her up, just build a life with her. It is really not that complicated, but what makes it complicated is the way a lot of these women think. And they really think that they're settling for men who naturally are providers and protectors. They think that they won't settle for an average man who is a protector and a provider who would be a good match or a good man for them. They think, oh, they shouldn't settle for that because you're holding out thinking that you're going to get a rich man. And a rich man is not even checking for you. I don't know how many times I got to say that. You got women out here crashing out, child. They're trying to put themselves in positions to get these type. Many men ain't even focused on them. If you look at the type of women who are looking for these types of men, you'll be like, girl, you don't even got to look. I already know that these men ain't checking for you. And when you tell them what these men are looking for, men who have a lot of money or men who don't make a whole lot of money, they all really looking for the same thing. But you will get the biggest, most aggressive, loudest, independent woman out here thinking that she deserves a 6-figure man. She deserves to be a queen sitting on her throne. I'm just like, ma'am, no, you don't. You don't deserve anything. You don't deserve anything from anybody. You deserve what you give yourself. And just because you provide for yourself as an adult don't make you special. I need somebody to let them know that too. As an adult, you're supposed to take care of yourself. That is your responsibility. That is nobody else's responsibility. As an adult, you have to go out and take care of yourself because who else is supposed to? Nobody else is responsible for you. So it's not a flex to say, oh, I pay my own bills. No, you're supposed to. You ain't got a man. You by yourself, you're supposed to pay your bills. Who else supposed to pay them? You want the super ninja to come out and pay your bills for you? No, this is why they're out here. It's just stupid. It really is. It is entitlement. It definitely is. It's like the audacity. It's the audacity for me. What are you? Who told y'all this? Who told y'all men supposed to come out and pay? Now I saw this video and I really need to clip these videos when I see them because sometimes I'm just scrolling through and I'm seeing stuff and I'm just shaking my head. And I don't remember to clip these things. But I see a lot of stuff and I just, go through them. I got to remember to clip them because this lady was saying, this man was trying to talk to her and she was like, I don't give my number out. And he's like, what? She's like, look, in order to get my number, you got to pay for it. He's like, what? I got to pay to get your number? And she was like, yeah. He was like, what? He thought that was crazy. Then he's like, well, okay, well, what would it cost to get your number? I don't know. I think she said $50. I think she said $50 just to get her number. I'm like, what? The audacity, the entire, what? If any man with common sense, if a woman told you, I need $50 to get your number, you would just be like, I know you lying and walk off. But I don't know. That man was laughing. I don't think he was like, nah, yeah, I don't think he gave her no $50, but she was serious. $50 $50 to get her number. And then if you want to go out with her, I guess you would have to pay her to go out and pay for the date. I'm like, this is stupid. And she was an attractive woman, but I'm like, what is in y'all mind? Y'all so independent and so educated till you're stupid. It's like, what are you trying to accomplish? So your whole being and everything that you do is for sale. Everything that you can offer is a transaction. So that's what it's boiled down to now. In 2024, almost 2025, the same women who talk about men objectifying them. Don't objectify me. Don't do this. It's not about my body and how I dress. It's about my mind. But now y'all done reduce yourselves to transactional situationships. You have reduced yourself to your body and put it for sale. Men aren't doing that. That's what y'all are doing. Y'all are out here. Everything is a price. Everything on your body is worth a price. Your phone number. If they want to take you out, that costs something. If they want to date you or get to know you, you got to pay first. Got to pay your light bill or pay one of your bills for you first, and then you'll take them on a date. This is crazy. It really, and then if you notice too, like when we watch Kendra G, which I'm gonna pull up a Kendra G clip for you guys as well. I gotta throw Kendra G, and I have to. Because it sheds so much light on what I'm talking about and what is actually happening. You get to see it. So the one thing I noticed with the women on Kendra G, what do? They get up. She said, I do the Kendra cam. Now one of them just stand there and just stand there. They all turn around. And Kendra make light of it. Oh, I see that booty. I see that booty. Because they know that they've incorporated that into what they have for sale. I'm just saying. Call a spade a spade. Why do you got to turn around? It's like you're modeling to show the guys what you're working with. Show your butt and all of that. Why not just stand there and, they get to, they see, if you're a fit woman, then they'll get to see that. But all of them turn around. Some of them even twerk a little bit and show you what they really working with. And you don't think that men are going to look at that and be like, oh, okay. So it always is focused on your body, how you're shaped, what you can offer with your body. It doesn't really go to your intellect or, who you are as a person, whether you have a sense of humor, whether you are a nice person, if you have a good disposition, things of that nature. They know when it comes to what they offer or what they bring to the table, it's all contingent upon their body. That's how they see it. If they look good, and that's all that matters. And I think also that's where a lot of men make their mistakes as well. And I said it before. A lot of men fall into that trap as well. If we're going to be honest, let's be honest. A lot of men fall into that too, as well, which is part of the reason why a lot of these women think that's what they should be doing. They go get these BBLs, even though they say it's not for a man. Who is it for? You get them BBLs because you think, you have men out here who say, hey, they like a woman with a big backside. They like a woman with a big butt. So, as men play into this too. And these women aren't going to get this for other women. They are getting it to get attention from men, because there have been men who have said, hey, I like a big butt, like a big butt and a cute waist, small waist, and, small flat stomach, big waist, hips and butt. You want something to grab on. I've heard men say that, and they say it on social media all the time. So part of that is where women get it from. They think that that's what they need to get to attract a man that they want. Now they realize that's not attracting the men that they want. So now they're confused. They don't know what to go, which way to go. And they're just lost, because now you hear men say, which the funny thing about it, you hear men say they like natural. So the women are saying, oh, y'all lying. Y'all don't like natural. Y'all like natural shapely women. Y'all don't like, you don't want the BBL, but you want a woman with curves and a natural butt. You don't want a woman flat chested or, butt look like it's been kicked in from the back and her stomach pushed out in the front. You don't want that. So I don't know. So this is the back and forth that we hear from women and men. But my thing is also too, I don't think women have ever really sat down and had a conversation with men and really asked them what they wanted. They just assumed. Maybe they saw something on TV the rap videos or whatever, celebrity stuff, and they just assume that's what all men want. And I say this too, all women are not the same and all men are not the same. Everybody is not looking for the same thing. There's differences. So if you're listening to one group of people or persons and you're thinking that this is the overall majority and this is what you should be going after, and then when you go and get these big butts and these big boobs and all of this fake aesthetic, and men aren't really taking you seriously, then that's on you. That's on you. So I think there's, I mean, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, you have to be conscious and logical in your reasoning, and you have to really talk to men. Why is it that, a lot of these women listen to their girlfriends. They all talking and they all talking stuff that they don't know nothing about. They're all sitting around having these conversations about what men want without ever really talking to men. And I think if you want to know what men like, you need to talk to men. You can't just sit around with the sisterhood and the echo chamber of women all making it up and believing it and never really getting to the source of it and really asking the questions, because I think they'll tell you. So I think there's a big disconnect between men and women, and that's why there's such a divide. So and I think communication is definitely key to any relationship or any, when you need to be clear about what it is that you want, and you need to be able to communicate that. And if you don't have any type of communication, then you can't build nothing if there's no communication there. So, I do agree. Single women keep each other single. They do, because they what they're saying is they're going off of their thoughts and their feelings without really asking men what they think. And that's the thing, because you don't want to really hear from them. You want to believe what you believe, even if, it's not working for you. That's the part I don't understand. Common sense and logic would say, listen, if I'm doing one thing and that's not giving me the results that I want, try something else. Try something else. Try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else until you get the results you're looking for. But sitting around just beating yourself in the head with the same ideas that have never worked, just thinking that one day you're going to manifest it off a GP, is ridiculous to me. It's not a smart way to go about it. That's all I'll say. We got too many educated women out here for them to think that way. This is why I say, just because you're educated don't mean you're educated in everything. You need to pay attention to other options and not just what the sisterhood is telling you. Alex says, what do you think about #cooking with Kaya? What is that? I don't know what that is. Cooking with Kaya? What is that, Alex? I don't know who that is or what that is. One son says, if you're for sale, you best be worth the money. Once 50 age plus hits, any man showing up. So it's just crazy. And once again, if for any of these women who really want something substantial and something real, they're going to have to change. They're going to have to change the way they're thinking and how they're moving, because it's just never going to work. And listen, there are articles and things out here saying that, we need to make more children. The nuclear family is definitely important, because we don't want to be like China. We really need to start creating families again and building families and things of that nature, because it's going to be detrimental to the future. And I don't think they really are focused on that. They're not really focused on the importance of that. Everybody's just out here for self and not realizing, hey, y'all already have children. What do you think your children's future is going to look like? How are you going to navigate that? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. There's 161 people watching, y'all. 91 likes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Q, the old one, thank you for the super chat, says, I wonder what percentage of women struggle with other women being happy, then work to destroy their relationships to make them feel the pain they feel. Listen, I don't know the percentages, but I know that that's a real thing. This is what we see on social media. Anytime a woman comes out and talk about her marriage or talks about her relationship and how the dynamics of their relationship and how it's working, oh my God, the mad, bitter hyenas come out the woodworks. They come out heavy. discrediting that woman. They told me, well, what if your husband leave you and all this kinds of stuff. They really are mad and bitter. I'm like, y'all got to be some insane, bitter people. I'm just saying. What if my husband leave me? First off, get you a husband and then worry about if he's going to leave you first. First, get one first. Worry about that. Because you can't, I mean, to be so on the defense when it comes to people who have husbands and stable relationships. Oh, this shows you they so mad. This is why even with their girlfriends, their so-called good girlfriends, right? Girl, your girlfriend meet a nice guy. They'll do everything in their power to try to turn you against that dude. Try to tell you, oh, girl, he ain't making this or he ain't got this. Girl, he should give you this bigger ring. He should do this. Oh my God, because they can't stand to see you happy and actually have somebody. They want everybody out here single, miserable, independent by themselves, complaining on the goddamn internet. You want every woman to be bitter and angry like you so y'all could be bitter and angry together. But listen, if I was single, I don't want to sit back and be bitter and angry, a bitter old single woman in a group of bitter old single women all complaining about not having a man and struggling. I wouldn't want that, baby. I would be trying my hardest. I would be a pick me. Come on, pick me, because I got to get away from these single, bitter baby mamas. Baby, I don't want to be sitting around with y'all complaining and miserable and y'all crying together, taking these damn girl trips trying to ease your sorrows and try to, forget your reality. You can't sit at home alone because you're gonna, all of the traumatic, life that you got going on is just gonna be all sitting on your chest. You're gonna be sitting there crying. Want somebody to sit there and cry with you. So you go on these girls trips consistently to drown out your sorrow, to not focus on the fact that you by yourself and you don't really want to be by yourself. You really want somebody to be with you, but you don't know how to go about it because you never were taught. And you're too independent and selfish to realize what is important and necessary for a healthy relationship. You're so stuck in a hyena, independent boss chick way of thinking, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't see the forest for the trees because you're so stuck on this wrong way of thinking and you believe it. And then your girlfriends take you on these trips and y'all all sing kumbaya and do whatever y'all do on the girls trips, please yourselves together so that y'all can feel good about yourselves. So you go back home, you won't be as miserable. Come on now. So there are a lot of women who try to sabotage their girlfriends' situations. If they got a girlfriend, she meet a guy, oh my God, they be trying their best to get in there and stop that before it get to something serious. Thank you so much for the super chat, Q, the old one. I appreciate you. Oh, baby, they be trying their best to tell you all kind of things that could be wrong, girl. He this, making up stuff, Hell, I experienced it myself. This is how look, a lot of the stuff I talk about is because either I experienced it or, I know closely people who think this way. Trust me. I've had, and I'm not going to go deep because I've already done that on this channel. I've said a lot. People the closest to you are the ones who try to sabotage something that they see that is good because they never had it. They probably will never get it. And they try to sabotage you. I've had that experience. Try to create false narratives, make up things just because they don't want to see you do better than them. It's a real thing. And I've experienced it. So this is how I know it's real, not from just talking about it, but actually going through it. And you'll be surprised how people try to sabotage your relationship, try to sabotage your marriage. They make up stuff. Oh my God, they do the most. And this usually comes from people who never been married, who probably will never get married, who never been in serious relationships for real. And then they end up being single to the end. Those are the ones who are always trying to sabotage something that they see is good. It's a fact. Dear Woke Christian, thank you for the super chat, sis. Great segment, sis. Keep at it. Women's worst enemies are other women. They give such horrible advice. And that's a fact. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you for being here and for supporting the channel. That's a fact. I mean, it's just what it is. This is why I say the sisterhood is fake. A lot of these women aren't, really there for you, as, support. No, they're competition. They're competition. It's a bunch of women in competition, competing for the same men. And, it's just fake. It's not real. Everybody's looking to gain something. And so this is why I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of it. So, it's just what it is. And I wish that, they would be more honest about it, but we see it all the time. They turn on each other. They're not real loyal for real. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, being cool until you're not. Until you do something to piss off and you meet a man. Oh my God. Now all of a sudden you ain't cool. Now she got stuff to say, talking behind your back. This, all this, what they call it? Child, I can't even think. What do they call it? Backstabbing and, all kinds of stuff going with these hyenas. And that's why I said before, I don't have time for it, and women, women are just not really nice to each other for the most part. And if you are an attractive woman, that makes it even worse. Because now the competition, these women go out on dates or go out together. And if a guy is, more interested in one versus the other one is mad. And then they got an attitude. And then, they start doing creepy stuff. I'm like, child, who has time for that? And, people, question me before, like when I said, listen, I don't have a whole bunch of friends, never have and never will, because I know what it ends up being and I just don't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for the foolishness. And I'm much more at peace not having a whole bunch of friends because it's just a hassle. It's too much. You think these women are crazy. Just try, and I know it's a bunch of BS, I don't think that's wrong with people having friends and all that kind of stuff, but you got to have the right kind of people. Because if you just walk around with all these girls and sisterhood women just around you and all that, it becomes a toxic mess. And I choose not to be a part of that whatsoever. Troy McCurry, thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Often they want the guy you have while dissing him. Oh my God. Hell to the yes. Exactly, Troy. Oh my God, that is facts. Look. Without trying to tell people's business, look, me and my husband know a situation like that. This woman, her good girlfriend, convinced her to leave her husband. I said this before on this platform. They were good girlfriends. They used to go out. The husband wasn't really into her going out to clubs with her because her friend was single, right? So she was like, she got the girlfriend got her to say, girl, why you could go out. The same old BS they always do. It's very calculated. Girl, you could go out. Why he don't want you to go out? Now mind you, she's married. She was married. So you married and your single friend is telling you don't need to listen to your husband. You should be able to go out and have you a good time. Don't worry about what he's saying. And she bought into that. She started listening to it and let it ooze through her brain and start saying, you know what? You're right. He's trying to control me. I need to be able to do what I want. I could go out. So she started going out with her single friend. Child, they hanging out and doing all that. And it became a problem. In the marriage, of course, her husband had a problem with that and said, you shouldn't be out here with your single friends and listen to your And what happens is her friend convinced her, girl, that he was not for you, girl. You should leave him because he's too controlling. He's too this, he's too that, girl. You need to find, you could do better than that. And she ended up leaving her husband. Big mistake. What happened, to your point, Troy? The friend end up seeing said husband, ex-husband. I said, baby, I would have, but my first inclination was to be like, I'm going to beat the hell out of her. That's what I was thinking, but then at the same time, you can't really do that because she didn't, you fell for the okie doke. You didn't have to listen to her, but this is what happens. Why that woman started seeing her ex, and she was pissed about it. Why the girlfriend, the good girlfriend was dating the damn ex. I say, I know you lying. I don't know if the relationship, if they stayed together or what, but I know she was highly pissed because here your good friend told you to leave your husband so she can grab him. So what you're saying is factual. It's all the while she said, girl, if she do it, oh, I'm grabbing him up. She already had an agenda. If she's stupid enough to listen to me and leave her man, I'm gonna grab him up, and that's what she did. Now, I don't know if the relationship lasted, But I mean, he was open, I guess. I mean, and so it's just crazy, but it happens. Thank you once again for the super chat, Troy. I appreciate you. So it happens. The sisterhood is a bunch of BS. Unless, like I said, you ain't the sister. You don't need to be in the sisterhood. But if you have true, authentic friendships with people, that could be different. The Jeremy Hill Show. Thank you for the super chat. Says salute to host and chat. Keep cooking, D. Houston, stand up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jeremy. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a mess though. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please go and hit the like button, y'all. Please. We got 199 people watching. We got 119 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I know y'all have fingers. Use y'all fingers and hit the like button, damn it. Hit the like button. Okay, so let's move on, y'all. I want to pull up another clip for you guys.
Guys, hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Thank you. Hi.
You look like you well lit. You look happy. You have good energy.
Thank
Have you been
you.
before?
No, you know what? I literally just got home from a holiday party.
What's going on, Kennard, the DJ? Did I say it right? Did I say it right? Please let me know, Kennard. What's going on, Kennard, the DJ? Did I say it right? Let me know. What's going on, Michael? Because I told y'all, baby, I forget. What's going on, Divine Photos? How are you? Let's continue.
Party, and I saw you were live, and so I was clicking. I changed my clothes, and I'm in my comfortable clothes. It's 11:30 where I'm at, and I was like, I'm just gonna hit her link and see if I get fed in, and I did.
You did.
Yes, I'm gonna turn my
name?
laptop down. I'm Jasmine. My name is Jasmine.
Okay. All right. You have a beautiful face.
Thank you.
Jasmine, where are you calling us from?
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes.
Is that where you live?
Yes, born and raised.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31. What you do for a living?
I am an esthetician and makeup artist.
Okay.
31.
And makeup artist.
Yes.
Do you have any kids?
No children.
That's
never
why your
been
skin is
married.
so nice. I'm like, you're glowing. So you're an esthetician.
I receive it, girl. I put in that hard work. I put in that work and that money and that skincare routine every night.
Oh,
You know, and her skin is nice, but you know what? On these social media platforms, child, the lights. Like I got these lights. The lights can make your skin look better than it actually is. The what is it? The what is it? The smoothing and all of that. Child, look. And I mean, but look, her skin does look nice, but I know that there's light on her forehead right here because I have light on my, it's lights in the middle that shine and lights here that make your skin look flawless. It's a lot of times it's a big difference when you see a person in person. I'm just keeping it a buck. Women, we use filters. I use them. We use lights. We got makeup. So it's really, and I'm not trying to be shady, because I don't have bad skin. I'm just saying. So I ain't trying to be shady. I don't have bad skin. Never have. Now I get a pimple here and there, but I don't have bad skin. I'm just saying. So I'm not mad at her. Her skin looks great. But I gotta admit, you know, it's lights. We have a middle ring light here, which put the light on your face. 2 lights here. That light is shining. And there's smoothing things that you can use, filters and stuff that we use all the time, including myself. Women, we love to use them because we want to look better than usual on these platforms. But when you see a person in real life, that's when you really get to see how they look. This is why I think sometimes you got to dial back that stuff a little bit, because sometimes people look totally different. I don't think, look totally different when you see them. Some people look pretty much the same, but if you use too much of it, and when you look totally different, when a person is almost like catfishing. Because, there are people who look they look totally different. Eyes are a different shape. Nose is a different shape. Like, they use the extreme stuff. And when somebody see them in person, they don't even recognize them. You know what I'm saying? Because they look so different. But for the most part, we all use a little bit of enhancements. It's just what it is. So you don't really know if somebody has good skin until you see them in person. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know, and I think that's why part of the reason why a lot of men want natural. They want to see what you naturally look like when you take all that off. Cause listen, I know some people who transform, baby. Like I told you, I came from the beauty world. So boy, they got some people who pack it on. Like when they take it off, you don't even recognize. Like it shocked me before. If y'all ever seen these videos of these women who look atrocious on the camera and then they just transform, like, oh my God, they look like a totally different person. Now that's what you would call catfishing. Like they can really look like a totally different person. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because, you know, I'm just saying. But Troy, thank you once again for the super chat, says women tend to underestimate other women's capacity for rootless calculation. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, and I think that's a good point too, because there are a lot of women who think that they can't be influenced. You know what I mean? They really think that there's nothing wrong with hanging out with certain women because they don't think that these women can influence them. They think that they have their own mind. They're going to make their own choices. But a lot of times they are influenced by the women they surround themselves with. So I think that you know, overall, to speak to your point, is a lot of women do underestimate the influence of other women, I would say. And this is why it's important that if you are in a relationship, you need to hang around people of a like mind. You need to hang around people who are relationship oriented women, and you know, people who are building relationships. If you're married, I think it's best to hang around other successful married couples. You know, I don't think married people should be hanging with single individuals and going out to clubs with them because it can be an influence. Especially if you're mad or you have a issue in your relationship and you go and hang out with your single friends, they're going to amplify that. And they're not going to, in most cases, they're not going to tell you, you know what, go home to your husband, y'all work it out. A lot of times it's the sisterhood that tells each other, girl, you don't have to put up with his stuff. Girl, you can do whatever you want. It's okay if you want to do that. You know, they don't usually gravitate to the side of the man. They don't usually tell you, you know, work it out with your man. You go home, do this. Maybe he's right. No, they usually tell you what you want to hear and make you believe and feel that what you're thinking and how you're feeling is legitimate. And so this is why a lot of women end up leaving their relationships that didn't really have major problems because they lean on the sisterhood. They lean on their girlfriends to kind of navigate them, to give them like a I guess a sounding board or validate their thought process. This is why I think the sisterhood is dangerous. I think you need to have enough logical sense to say, you know what, I'm not gonna. This is why I don't think that married people should talk to outside influences. I don't think that you should allow your parents, your sisters, your friends to interrupt your marriage. I think if the person you should be talking to is your husband or your wife, you two should be able to work out the differences that's going on. Do not allow outside influences to come in. Now, if it's some shady stuff going on, if there's abuse or something crazy, then yeah, you need to tell somebody. But other than that, y'all just have some differences. Y'all need to figure that out. You should not lean toward your single friends to tell you what you should be doing, because typically it's information that will cause you to walk away from your relationship. And like I said, if there's nothing crazy going on, y'all should be able to work that out. So yeah, I think a lot of women think that they have enough intuition or whatever to work through it and not, but they listen to their friends and let them influence them in the wrong ways, and then they regret it. So yeah. Thank you once again, Troy, for the super chat. I appreciate you. The Geek Surgeon says, I call it Beelzebub paint. What, the makeup? That's what you call it? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. You talking about the makeup? Wow. Thank you so much, the Geek Surgeon. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
You said no kids?
Makeup.
No children.
No kids. And never married?
Never married.
Okay. And what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo Libra. Like, I'm right on the cusp.
Okay. So we got Jasmine, Charleston, South Carolina, 31 Virgo, esthetician, Makeup artist, no kids, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
You know, in my spirit, in my mind, I would like a traditional, handsome gentleman. You know, someone that shows up not with what he says, but his actions. You know, and the fruits that he bears are so genuine, it's real. Like this man has real friends, real genuine relationships. He loves his family. That's how I see my mate being.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers? I don't think I want a man with children.
Okay.
I don't think I want, and like, not cultured, not well rounded, not well traveled. Like, don't come to me not knowing what you want.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
Of course, we like a handsome man. Okay, I don't discriminate. Nationalities, ethnicities, beautiful smile. I would like him to be fit. You know, you want to feel safe and sweet and cute with your man. So I would like him to be a little bit bigger than I am. I'm 5'6", like 180, but I do weight lift, so I'm pretty curvy.
180. Well, damn. I mean, what if he weighs 170? 180. 180 for 5'6". That's a bit much. That's a little bit. That's a little bigger. 180 at 5'6". That's a lot in a sense. She don't look super big, but 180 at 5'6". That is slightly overweight. Divine Photos, what's going on? Divine Photos says she's a good looking sister, but too much makeup and fake hair. But when they proceed to talk about how they want a real man, make it make sense. Right. Yeah, I think she's an attractive woman. But at 31, she's still struggling to find a healthy relationship. That's like a red flag in my opinion. It's a red flag in my opinion. I'm just saying. But she's not bad looking whatsoever. But something I'm sure about her is there's something with her, and she seems nice, but something is off. Something is off. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you could find an attractive woman. She sounds nice, but there's something brewing in the background. That's what I'm getting from her. But thank you once again, Divine Photos. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you for the support. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money?
Not a certain amount, but I would like him to be like stable.
Okay. Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay. I have to stand up.
Yes.
I have sweats on.
Okay. We see that booty sitting.
Oh, you know. There she go, girl.
What was your last relationship, Jasmine?
Can I be honest? I've never been in a serious relationship.
What are you, 31? Never? Not even in college?
No, never been in love. I had a boyfriend. I knew him when I was like middle school, and then we decided to like try it when I was like 19, 20, and then after that, never.
So you don't have to answer, but I'm gonna
Okay.
ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I want to say 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
All right. So why do you think you never been in a relationship?
Uh, you know, they say you have a type, but does your type have you? Ooh,
Mm. Ooh.
clocked my T. That's
Ooh.
me.
So the type you desire doesn't want you back?
I don't feel like it. Like I feel like
There we go. So, and when she said she never been in a serious relationship, I at 31, okay, yeah. Yeah. And listen, I don't want to call it a red flag, but it's something, like I said, in the background that's going on. Because, if you're an attractive woman and you have all these good qualities, there's no reason why you shouldn't be in a serious relationship with a decent man. That's just my thoughts on it. And I know, Because people like to tell me, oh, well, you're not out here in this dating scene and all of that. And yeah, I understand that it may be difficult and stuff, which I know it is. I see it. My sister is out there trying to find somebody, baby, and it's difficult for her because she has a certain set of standards as well that to me I think are unrealistic. And then, she's, there's some other stuff too, but I get it. I see it. You know what I mean? I'm not blind. I could see a little bit. And yeah, it's very difficult because it's not just because you can't find somebody, but they're looking for a certain type of person. And typically the type of guys that they're looking for don't want them seriously. They end up in situationships. They end up, playing around with these men, but because these men don't want them seriously. In a lot of these cases, the men that they would prefer, they would love to be in a relationship with those guys, but those guys don't want relationships. These men who have this money, these celebrity guys, they don't want you like that. They got several of you. They got a woman in every state. You got this woman over here. You got this one for when you travel there. You got another one over here. They're not trying to be locked down by one woman because they have those options. But if for some reason those men wanted to do that, these women would be open to it. But because the men are not, they can't get what they want. And the guys who want them, those guys are not good enough for them. The guys who are in your face trying to pursue you, who would love to be in a relationship with you, the women don't want to be locked down to that one guy. They want to go out and try to find the one that they really want, and they're finding it difficult. So what you end up being, it yields you single. And what you're doing is throwing that box around, hoping and praying that one of them decide they want you, the one you want, because the one you keeping your options open. The one that you don't really want, you putting him in a friend zone and playing around with him. And he's realized what you're doing. So now he's not taking you seriously. So what happens is you end up by yourself. This is how you end up becoming 50, 60 years old by yourself. It's just what it is. It's what it is. Divine Photo says, isn't it funny how Kendra got on a 24-year-old man for messing with multiple women, but most of the women on the show don't require relationships. She does that. She still, Kendra realized what's happening, but she still gravitates toward the women. She's not all the way there yet, but yeah, I noticed that as well. Thank you once again, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. The type of guy they are looking for exists. Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, I said this before. The men that the women want don't want them. And the men that would give them the attention, they don't want them. They don't want them. It's just what it is. And they don't want to settle. They think that the man is supposed to be the perfect version of what they want. And that's just not, and you don't even give them a try. Like, you don't give the guys who are interested in you the chance because you have this idea of what you think it should be without realizing that you probably have a gym right in front of you, but you won't give them a chance because you're so stuck on your type. I told you, having that type doesn't always work out. It doesn't. Let's continue.
Fall every now and then. And or I'm interested, not even say fall. Like, I'll be genuinely interested in, like, I would like to know more about this person, or I would like to see if this could go somewhere, and it's not reciprocated. And then if someone feels that way about me, I'm like, I don't know, girl, that this might not be a thing, and I don't want to lead nobody on. And so it would just constantly be something like that, like constantly.
So the guy that you described, so is it based on his attributes, like physical?
No. It would, of course, like off of face value. If you see a guy, you're like, "Ooh, he looks cute." But
No,
then
the one that you say that so you guys might go on a date or something, but he doesn't follow up, you're saying?
yes, a lot of the times, I'll say lately, it's been he doesn't want anything more. Like, you can kind of tell if they try to get you over to their house, or and when you don't bend on that, they usually just cut bait and go, or you do that and then there's nothing else after that.
What I like about you though is you're self-aware and you're calling it what it is. And, sometimes it really just, in so many words, he's like, it's a very famous movie. He's just not that into me, right? And I think
Yes.
sometimes that's a vulnerable space for women to admit, because most women don't want to admit that he just doesn't like me the way I like him. But as soon as you can admit that, you can keep it going.
Yeah, girl, it's a hard pill to swallow. But you know how else? I'm not going to hang on to anything that doesn't want to be held on to.
I
You
mean, you
know,
can't. I
I
mean,
can't.
like both people have to want it. It's not one person wants it
Yes.
more. It has to be an equal thing. It has to be a match.
Yes. And my prayer is I come across something that is reciprocated. It's like, and you would think it's so easy, but I'm like, I don't think it's that easy because I haven't come across it yet.
Well, she probably has come across a guy who was interested in her. He just wasn't her type. And you'll be surprised. It's not like it's a guy who just look, like the worst thing ever. It's not that a lot of these guys are, so bad looking, or no, it's just that he may not have her visual of what she sees herself with. It doesn't look like what she imagined herself to be with, her type in every sense. Like you women envision certain things. It's like a fairy tale. You have this fairy tale mindset. I want a tall, handsome, muscly guy who's got swag. He makes a lot of money. He's just the top of the guys. He looks so great. We look good together. We're gonna walk in arm in arm. It's this fantasy idea of what you see yourself, the person you see yourself with. If a man does not stack up to that, then that throws them off. It throws them off. If he's shorter than what she dreamt he would be, if he doesn't have the look she dreamt him of looking like, then it throws her off. So now that ain't it. Oh no, I can't. You don't give the person the chance. So this is how a lot of women miss out. It's not that they haven't come across good guys. It's just that the guy was not what they envisioned themselves to be with. So they go off of that. And this is where a lot of women miss out and mess up. You've come across guys who were interested in you. Like she said, she never was in a serious relationship, but she's met guys that she liked, but the type that she liked is not into her. They want to sleep with her and move on. So what would that tell? That would tell you that you're picking the wrong guys. You're going after the wrong type instead of going after a guy who has the things that will be beneficial to a healthy relationship. And I say this to women too. Listen, a guy may not be your typical type, but what is your typical type is only going off of aesthetics. It's not going off of the type of, he could be a good dude, funny. I happen to think that men who has a sense of humor, I think that's a great characteristic to have. I think having a sense of humor, making a woman laugh, like being funny sometimes, not funny all the time. You got to be serious too, because women don't want men who are always cracking jokes all the time. But being able to laugh, because being able to laugh together is therapeutic. Being able to make fun of yourselves, being able to just not take everything too seriously in a relationship is important to me. And I think it's beneficial. So having a guy who has a sense of humor and know how to laugh, and y'all could joke things off, and then you know when he's there's a time to be serious when it's necessary, and y'all just be more like to have somewhat, I would say, of a friendship, not necessarily like y'all have to be besties or anything like that. But what I'm saying, like being able to tell your partner anything, or tell your spouse anything, being able to talk to them about anything. You guys can laugh about stuff, joke, and then be serious about things. When I think that's a good trait to have. So I think a lot of people miss out on those characteristics of a person, just looking solely at, oh, he's a little shorter than I thought. Oh, he doesn't fit his beard doesn't connect, or he doesn't have a mustache and I like mustaches, or he doesn't, he's a little thicker than I would like, or also, oh no, you just dismiss him. I think that is the problem. I think that, listen, I listen to what, I pay attention to what Anton Daniels said. Anton talks about this, how He says a lot of people have come across the person that they were supposed to be at some point in their life, but they passed them up. And I believe that. I think people have passed over the person who would have probably been their mate, because they were looking for something more, what they thought was more. And then what happens is, as you go on in life, you never find that more. You never find a person that was better than that person that you met way years ago. And so I think that that's something to focus on. And then, women have definitely said they come across some good men. They've come across some good guys. Hell, Cardi B even said that she was in a relationship with a good guy. She said he was attractive and everything. He was into her, but she was not into him. She was looking for something else. And so she got something else, but it seems like that's a problem. And they're always on the verge of breaking up because she don't like what he's doing. You like him. You're attracted to his aesthetic. You like how he looks and all of that, and that's who you want to be with. But you don't like his character and the things that he does. You like certain things about him, but when it comes to him being faithful to you, when it comes to him, having the other characteristics or qualities that you would want in a husband, it's missing. It's lacking. And so this is why I think a lot of women, once again, pass up the guy who would have been the better choice, because they don't want to settle. They think that they have better options out there, and then you end up finding out that you don't really have the better option. You already passed up. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, that's a mistake. And I think the older you get, you realize that, but then you realize that when you're too old, then you don't have as many options. I think I read that one. Let me see. 24 old for messing with multiple women, but most of the women on the show don't require a relationship. Okay, thank you, Divine Photos. I did read that one. Yeah, so I think a lot of people, what's going on, Paul Harrison? Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to you for the generous super chat once again. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Paul. I appreciate you once again. Says, hey, DeeDee, please allow me to speak to the chat. DeeDee puts in a lot of work and research to bring us the info we don't see on other platforms. Please hit the super chat cash app for our sister. Thanks. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting. And thank you. I appreciate you once again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. What's going on, Rainbow Kid? So yeah, that's crazy. Let's continue. Thank you once again, Paul. I appreciate you, sir.
What the men that you say you do like, that you don't feel like the energy's in return, have you ever asked them, like, just what kind of girl are you into? Just to kind of know for your own knowledge?
No, I'm like one of those people where, like, I'm very observant, and then I kind of read between the lines, but I don't like judge anyone and put them in a box. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you a blank piece of paper with a pen, and I'll let you write your story, and whatever you give to me back on that paper, that is what I decide what box to put you in. And I'd hate to say, but 9 times out of 10, I'm disappointed, So that kind of guy, I'll just kind of watch and see. I'm like, well, if I'm in front of you and I'm available, own house, own car, I'm doing my best with my career. I don't have daddy issues. My parents been married 40 years. What's the issue with me if I'm available to you? I'm trying to make myself available to you.
Let's talk about that real quick. So own house, own car. Do you want a guy to move in with you?
No.
Okay, so I think it's dope as a female. I think I respect that. But own house, so would you sell your house to move in with him?
Maybe.
Because I think what you might think to some men, unless the guy who is really gonna be turned on by you having your own house and your own car, is the guy that's trying to move in with you.
Damn. She got a point there. And once again, this goes back to women thinking that it's a flex as an adult, 30 something years old, saying I have my own house, I have my own car. You should, ma'am. No disrespect or anything, but as an adult, you should have your own. You got a job, you're working, you've been to college. You should have your own place to stay, in your own car and your own stuff. That is not a flex. And I think when men hear that, they're like, oh, it's not like, men, it almost makes it seem like, you've dealt with men who didn't have anything. And a lot of these women have put themselves in positions to sleep with men who didn't have much. And I think that's why a lot of them state that, oh, I have my, so you need to have your own car, your own this and that, because they're not used to dealing with men who had their own too. So they think that's a flex to say, I have my own this. What else, what were you? Was you supposed to have been homeless until you got a man? I don't understand that part. I don't understand that. Why is that a flex to say I have my own house, my own car? You should. That's not a flex, and that's not. I don't think that that's a requirement. I mean, something that men look at. Now, I'm pretty sure they're gonna look at you and say, yeah, as an adult, yeah, they expect you to have your own stuff. So anything less than that, I think they will probably look at you sideways, maybe, but it's not a flex. I don't know. I don't get that part. Let's continue.
Girl, let me
And you don't
plug my
want
phone
that
up for a
man.
time. Girl.
Unless you do, like there's no judgment. But if you want the guy that wants to be quote unquote the leader,
That's what I want.
he's gonna probably want you to move into his house and fall into his plan.
Was
You
it the
know,
bachelor pad? Does he have makeup wipes in his bathroom? Girl body wash in his bathroom? I don't want to be laying up in your bed when other women's it wasn't rolling around in your sheets.
What?
Don't want it.
Okay, I hate to say it. She's 31, but she sounds very immature. What is she talking about? Like, so see the idea. This is where I say people have to mature and grow up, and it could be the reason why she's single. You gotta grow up a little bit more. You gotta be more. It just seems a little makeup wipes, and so she's talking about a guy who is a player. A man who's still sleeping around with a bunch of women. He got stuff left over from the last woman at his place. Why is it that women, you automatically assume that that's what men are doing? What type of, and again, this speaks to her type. This speaks to the type of guys that she is attracted to. Makes sense why they only want to sleep with her, because that's their MO. That's what they do. And why are you constantly attracted to those type of guys? And listen, this is a lot of women. This is how a lot of women find themselves in these predicaments with these types of men who won't take you seriously because they're only trying to get, to the cooch with this one, that one, and that one, and you're in rotation. But the guys who will be faithful and want to be with you, somehow those they're not good enough. They're the nerds, they're the lames, they're all of this. But you end up in this cycle of constantly rotating the same type of guys. And I don't care if they're red, black, white, blue, green. You're going after the same types of dudes, no matter what race they are. You're going for the guys who are not trying to be faithful. You're going for the guys who are players, and you become a part of that. And it makes sense why they're not into you. They're not trying to build a family and be married or anything like that. But those are the ones that a lot of these women are attracted to. So if you want to know why you're not getting the type of guy who's going to take you seriously, because it's your type. The type of guys you go for don't want you because they're players. And for her to say, oh, well, you got makeup wipes for girls in your back, because you have girls over here in your player pad. Well, you can tell that's the type of guys that she's attracted to, and I don't understand it for the life of me. A lot of these women are, they want, I don't know, a certain aesthetic, and you want, the sexual gratification from a certain type of man. Hey, everybody wants that. But you could get that with a man who is faithful to, who want to have that with you. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with a guy who's a player, why are you still trying to go for that type? Change your type and you'll probably get what you want. It may not be in a package that you want, but you'll realize, hold on, there's some benefits to these guys you're looking over. Your type is not the only guys that got it going on, in all ways. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women are missing out because you're only going for this aesthetic, this certain type, and you think that's just the only type that's available and that's good until you change that up, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that the guys who are, there are guys out here who might want to be with you and take you seriously, but you just keep going after that same type and just keep getting your heart broken and still being out here single at 40 and 50 years old. And I can never forget what's her name? Vivica, take me shopping. I need a man 60 years old. I need a man who's going to take me shopping. I need a man who's going to not be intimidated by who and what I am. I just can't get over that. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. And this is a woman who's had all kinds of opportunities, who's famous, who's made a lot of money, and she's still saying, I need a man to take me shopping. I need him to understand who and what I am and not be intimidated by it. I'm just like, girl, you're 60 years old, child. Whatever man who want to take you seriously, you better grab him up. And why don't you take him shopping? Shit. Did you make enough money over all them years? You was in Independence Day and all kind of movies. Can't you take him shopping? Hell. For him wanting to even deal with you. For if a man want to come up to you and really want to take you seriously and hang around you 24/7 and be in your presence, girl, take him shopping. Take him shopping. Praise him, because ain't too many men gonna want to take you seriously. I'm just saying, not trying to be shady. I'm just telling the truth. Ain't too many men gonna want to go and get a 60-year-old woman. They don't care if you on TV or not. And if he do get around you and he's the type of man you want, he'll be ending up being one of them scammers who made you think he had money, and then he be asking you to borrow money from you. So, and he's going to be younger. She's not going to go with no older man unless he's a white, old, rich, sugar daddy or something where she can't really do nothing with physically, but he can take her shopping. He ain't going to take her shopping. He going to give her a card or some money to go. You go shop by yourself and come meet me, in my mansion at 11 p.m. and break me off some of that old girl cooch, because I'm older, he's older, so to him that's a little younger, and you ain't really been with nobody in a while, so maybe it might work out for him. I'll give you some shopping money, but I need you to come to my crib every Friday at 10 and come to my room. I can't get out the bed. I got an oxygen thing on because I'm 70 or something like that, but you 60, so come ride me or whatever, and let's see what it do. And I'll take you shopping. I'll give you the money to go, because I'm not going to be seen with you in public. But, because I can't let my wife, because they be having wives, and their wife be just as old as them. That's their real love of their life. Like, they got their wife in the other room, but he need to get, he want a little something different. So yeah, they might pay to let you go shopping on his dime, but he even still don't want to be seen with you or take you seriously either. So if an old sugar daddy don't want to be seen with you or to take you seriously, what younger man is gonna really want to take you seriously? If you could find one, baby, take him shopping. I'm just saying. Be grateful. Let's continue.
I understand. I understand everything that you're saying. I think you got to start. That's why I said, as you ask that guy, what does he like or what's he's into? You might not even like it anymore once he kind of tells you. But most of these men that you guys, like women describe, that I hear over and over and over again, they got so many options. Yeah. Like at this moment, the world, like I was having a conversation about this, and I always want to say the woman is a prize. I really wrestle with that because I feel like that's the only way to really be happy in a relationship, because most women will be loyal most women will be loyal if they're really into the relationship. So you always want this guy to like you a little bit more. But because of the way social media has changed, because so many situationships have been accepted, certain men are being treated as the prize. And it just is what it is. Like, the more women go by their rules of agreeing to situationships, lowering their standards, the men, they're becoming the prize. And I hate to observe and say it. The certain type of guy. And this is another thing, because there's some men who have to work, right? And this is a guy that has friends. He got that friend who just got the attraction attributes or the money and gets women fast, right? Now, he might not have the attraction attribute. He might not have all the money, but he might be a good guy. So he has to work to get the woman. And he's upset because this is the guy that says, oh, after you went with Big D so-and-so, now you want the good guy, So it's I say focus on the man that likes you. That's the only man that matters, is the man that likes you. Or unless and now I will say this, but if you are gun-ho on the man that you want, then you have to learn that man and ask yourself, will I become the woman that he wants back? Those are your two options.
That's crazy.
She said that's crazy. It's really not. It's really not. This is why I say delusional. A lot of these chicks are delusional. Why wouldn't you want the guy who wants you? Why would you want to chase behind a dude who's telling you over and over and over that he's not really that into you? He'll screw you real good and then keep it moving. I think these women are this is why I say delusional, delulu land, honey. Why not want the man that, wouldn't you want a man who's into you and really want to be with you? See, that's the difference. Why so many women are complaining about men, and they're coming across men who never really wanted them, but he played around with them because you allowed him to. You put yourself there to be, an option for him because you wanted him. But he didn't really want you. And then you turn around and complain and say, oh, why do these men play in our faces? Why do they play? Because you know he didn't want you. You wanted him. So when you want the person, you do a lot of extra things that would, try to, you put yourself in positions to try to get him because you really want him. You really like him. All the while, he's not showing you, he's not reciprocating that he wants you, and will tell you, hey, look, I'm not really trying to be in a real relationship or serious relationship, but you don't hear that. Women, they could tell you straight up, but you hear something else. You want to believe something else, so you tell yourself something else. So you go and you still pursue this man. Then you start sleeping with him and you like that too. You like everything about him. You like that. You start doing things that's out of your character because you really like the person. But that person's not showing you that they like you back. So it's a mind game. You start really thinking that, oh, this is where you find women. As much as women like to say men will trap women with a baby, women do the shit too. Women do it too. Women would be like, well, look, they start thinking, well, okay, I gotta keep him in my life. I gotta do this. Going beyond and going that extra mile and going beyond and try to please him and get him roped into you. And then the last ditch effort is, oh, well, I'm gonna get a baby. Put a baby. I want to have a baby with you. You want to have a baby with him because that's a connection to him. Hoping that there's a connection and that he sees that, oh my God, you did the ultimate thing for him. You gave him a baby. You put yourself in this predicament or harm's way to have a child. He's going to see you give birth to that baby and he's going to be like, oh, she the one. And when you do all that and he still walk away because he never was invested in the first place, oh, now they're crying, upset. These ninjas ain't this and they all this and they all trash. And I done gave my all, but you gave your all to a man that you knew was never interested in you if you're going to keep it 100. You gave your all to somebody who told you they was not interested in you like that. But you thought somehow as a woman, if you put that vagina on and your vagina is special, and he gonna all of a sudden change his mind and you gonna whip him into submission and you gonna make him look at you as something special when he just don't. And this is the thing women gotta learn about men, but they learned it the hard way. You realize after you done all that and gave all your time and efforts and it didn't change him, then you pissed. Now you left with his baby and you still mad. Now you bitter and now you want to try to go out and take that out on other men. When that man told you, I don't want that. And when you couldn't convince him of doing it, you pissed off. A lot of these women know what it is. A lot of these women come across men who tell them straight up, look, I can't be with one woman. If they really gonna be honest, they'll tell you, I ain't gonna be with one. I gotta have multiple women. Are you cool with that? Well, I'm cool with it because in their mind you think, well, oh yeah, that's right. As soon as he get a whiff of this, he gonna change. He gonna want to be with me, and I'm gonna be the only one. And all this, then they go to fight. Then when all the other chicks start showing up, that's when they out here fighting the other side, where the other woman in rotation, and they start fighting them and getting mad, and all y'all end up with babies for him. This is how you have all these women have all these babies for this one guy. He got all these baby mamas because he been reckless from the gate. He told you what it was from the gate, but you thought you would be the special one. You would be the one to change his mind. Look at Cam Newton's woman. I'm just saying. Look at her. What do y'all think of her? She's sitting there thinking, that she's probably the prize and she's the one. She got a baby for him now. He got other babies, right? He got other baby mamas too, right? But she thought she was special, and come to find out, she's not that special. In my opinion, I don't think she got a baby with him. I wouldn't be surprised that relationship don't work out, unless she's just gonna sit there and be okay with it, because she seemed Some would argue she's okay with what he's doing, but I don't think she is. But women, well, every woman always thinks they got the better vagina and it's gonna make him do something different. And when he don't, they're depressed. So it makes sense to stop with the foolishness. If you can find a man who's into you and really likes you and want to make it work with you, work with them. Because this type that y'all going after is why y'all are single. Is why y'all are single. In my opinion. And this is what they're finding out. This is what she's basically telling you. Hey, the guys that I want, they don't want me. They'll sleep with me, but they don't want me. And the guys that that want her, she don't want them. She's telling you. And then she's like, why is it that way? Oh my God, that's sad. Why is it so sad? You don't even give the guy who wants to give you a chance because he's not your type. So if your type is not showing reciprocation, showing that he wants you, why are you still pursuing that type? It doesn't make any sense. And this is why they'll end up single, complaining about all men. When the problem is not all men, the problem is the ones you pick. And you know that your type is not into you, but you still going after that same type of man. It would be wiser and more logical to go after the men who actually like you, so that y'all can build something together. But I think also too, a lot of times the women don't even give the relationship a chance to develop. Oh, if he ain't your type, oh, just keep it moving. You don't even get to know the person. You'll find if y'all, that maybe there's more in common than you think. You don't even get to really get to know the person on a more personal level and learn things about him, like his character and other things too. Learn what he's like. He's probably a good dude, but you don't, and you these women don't give it a chance to build and develop a relationship with a person. You think you can get to know somebody just off of one date? And overnight, we did chemistry. If it's not there today, it'll never be there. You don't know if your chemistry is only based on physical attraction, then that's all it's gonna be. If you don't get to know more about the person, how do you know that y'all have chemistry or not? If it's only off of from a glance of, he don't look like what I think he should, or he not tall enough. That's not enough to go on, to know what the person is about, because it's only physical. If it's only physical, and if you're basing a relationship only on the physical, the aesthetic, then that's a mistake right there. Because to have a successful relationship is not just about what you look like. It's not just based on that. There's more that needs to be involved. And this is where you find some relationships, which I know of, where it was only a physical attraction only. Sexual chemistry, and that's it. And they never last. They always end up breaking up. Because when the physical, fizzles out, or whatever you want to say it, when that physical part gets old, they have nothing else. They have nothing solid else to stand on. The relationship wasn't built on a solid connection. It was only built on a sexual or physical connection. And when that's over with, then they're ready to move on to the next. There's nothing else substantial that's going to keep you there. Because in my opinion, I don't think the physical is the only thing that's going to keep you there. You have to have more than just that. But let's continue, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all.
Well, that's how you close the deal. Like, you can stay with yourself and be happy. There's no judgment. You don't have to. You could be happy single, right? I know the internet will have you thinking otherwise. No, you can't. So, or you can entertain the men who like you. Those are the ones that's going to treat you the best because they really like you. Yeah. Now, if you want the other guy and he doesn't want you back, now you have to say, am I going to become the woman that he wants because this is the guy I want?
Oh, hell no. It's like you can't win for losing.
You can't win.
You can't.
You can't win because you could. The real answer is be with the man I want to be with you. Like, why chase the man if he ain't into you? Or you could self-improve, take yourself off and say, I'm going to make some changes. And I mean, and you could, if you really want this particular guy that you said is not giving you the energy, in this scenario, he's the prize. So then you're going to have to conform to his wants because you want him. He's not chasing you. Or you could just be with the guy that's chasing you, but you say you don't want that guy. So those are the options.
Okay. Girl.
You decide. Someone said that's terrible advice. What was terrible? She can either A, be with herself, B, date the man that wants to date her because, okay. Or if she wants another guy who does not want her, is she willing to become what he wants since she wants him? It's logical advice.
That's
I think it's logical advice. But the thing about becoming what he wants at this point, if he doesn't want you, he don't want you. I don't think that, and who you are is who you are. If you are not what he wants, then you're not what he wants. What else? What would she have to do to become what the guy wants? What is it that he wants? She probably don't even know, because he's just probably not into her. There's probably certain things about her that he just is not into, that he just doesn't like. Because what are you going to do? What? She's not that big, so does he want a more fit woman so she can lose some more weight? What? She doesn't seem like she's not an ugly woman. What? I mean, she can't change her face. What is it else that she could become to be what it is? He's just probably not into her, period. If he's not into her, there's nothing you're going to do to make him into you. He's going to like what he likes. And hopefully the woman that he actually likes, he can get with. And hopefully she can get with the person that actually likes her. That's why I say for a lot of women it's difficult, because women want what they want, but you're not going to get it all. I say this all the time. You're not going to get it all. You're not going to get it all. I said you're not going to get every little thing that you think you want out of a person. There's going to have to be some compromises. And you don't have to compromise. If you don't want to compromise, then you just be by yourself. That goes for men and women. If you don't want to compromise in some way, shape, or form, you might as well just be by yourself, because nobody is perfect. So you're not going to get this perfect person in every sense of the word. You're going to have to compromise in some way. But at least you can go for somebody who has the majority of the things that you want, the main things that matter. The main things that matter. Go find a woman who has the majority of the things that really matter to you. And if you can find that, then the small other little things, the small other compromises aren't going to be so big. You know what I'm saying? So I try to tell it to people, but a lot of times people are stuck in their ways. And the older we get, the more stuck in our ways we become, and so when you feel like I'm not settling, I tell this to my sister, it's like, oh, I'm not settling. I don't want, something wrong with men and this and that. And I'm like, girl, something wrong with men, I know you, something wrong with you too. You gotta, you know it. If you can tell people that you're crazy, and I love her to death, but I'm saying, you can say, oh, you're crazy. Well, you acknowledge that something is wrong with you. So it's not all the men. There's some stuff that you got to work on too. And that's the issue that she have, and a lot of other women I know have as well. And they hear me when I'm telling them, but they really not hearing me. Because, these are grown people. They're going to do what they want to do. I can't change their choices. I can only tell you from what you're telling me. I can give you my advice on it. You don't have to listen to it, but you're still going through the same issues. It's not yielding better results because you're stuck in your ways. You want what you want, but you're not getting it. And then a lot of times they become bitter and a little, feeling lost and, sometimes and feeling, left out, because at the end of the day, the older you get, you realize, dang, nobody don't really want to be with me. But that's not true, because the guys who would want to be with you, those aren't the guys you want to be with. You have a certain guy that you after, and that guy that you after is only using you for sexual gratification, and that's it. But that's who you really want to be with. But he doesn't really want to be with you. And so you keep going through this circle and circle of the same thing, thinking that you're going to finally find the man you really want to be with. And the one you really want to be with, it never fails. He don't want to be with you. He looking for something else. He looking for either younger or something else. But because you want him, he takes advantage of that. He's like, okay, she like me, so I'm going to use this. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to get what I want out of it, but I don't really want to be with you. They tell you over and over and over. But they keep fighting for their type and realizing that type that you going after, he show you over and over and over that he got other options, baby. He got other options. He got other options, and he shows you. But these women stay the course. It's funny because I see this happening in real life, and The funny thing about it, these particular women don't want to work with average guys. They don't. These women who talk about, oh, I don't want to work with an average guy, I will not settle for less. But you will settle for less when it comes to the guy that you actually want to be with. You will run behind him, call him up, say nice things to him, jump at the drop of a dime when he call for you or send for you or this or that. You'll jump for that and you'll do all these things for him because you want him. But the guy who is interested in you that you don't want, who's willing to, be there and show up for you, they don't it don't matter. It don't make a difference. And I think it's unfortunate. I do. I think it's unfortunate. I think that a lot of women have been brainwashed to see things one way. And that's it. And that's the only way they'll see it. But you realize you are not getting the outcome that you want. And the reason why they won't settle is because they waiting and waiting for the guy that they really are attracted to. And it happens to be a certain type of guy. And that type of guy they rarely ever want these women. I'm just saying. it, and she proves it. But this is nothing new to me. I see this. I see it. Like I said, and like I said, you could give the advice, but they have to take it. And if and once again, we getting older, and the older you get, the more set in your ways you are, and you feel like now I'm not settling for nothing. But you. But for the one that you want, you'll go outside that box and do things for him. But he's the one that got all kind of women. So you'll go through the extra mile for him. But the guy who's actually trying to get your attention and actually want to be in a relationship with you, oh, he gets no love. He gets no love. He gets no love whatsoever. He get criticized. And then also he's the one that you expect to do the most for you. But the guy who don't really want you ain't got to do much at all. It's weird, but it's the truth. Let's continue.
That's facts. It is. And I need to do better with dating, period, because I'm not dating, seeing anyone, no romantic interest, nothing. Like, girl, what you gonna do? You think your mailman's gonna be your man?
You wouldn't date the mailman anyways.
No.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a mailman? This is why I say Delulu. What's wrong with a mailman? Something wrong with a man being a mailman? Oh, that's a joke. Oh, they laughing. Ooh, ha ha. What's wrong with a mailman? The mailman might have all of the qualities that you want and take you seriously and not just look at you as a side piece and be a good man to you. Somebody who would marry you and be with you and build a life with you. What's wrong with that? I just see that's the things that I cringe at. Maybe he's a mailman today, but maybe he has aspirations or dreams to do something else. Or maybe that's just his career. Maybe he makes good money being that mailman. But that supersedes the personality, the character of the man. The man who would take you seriously, him being a mailman is not good enough. So you don't want to build with a man and work with him. You want a man who just, I don't know. I mean, it's you want to run behind a guy who don't want you. And this is why I think I don't even take a lot of these women seriously, because the things that they say they want, they really don't. You want it in a certain package. You want it to look a certain way. If you really wanted a secure relationship with a man and to build a family with, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't be worried about him being a mailman. I'm just saying. And I know a lot of, some people agree with that or they don't agree, but I think people are looking for a certain package and they're having a hard time finding it. Once again, the men who you think have the aesthetics and the money, that's who you're going after, and those men don't want you, boo. And the men who will want you, you looking at him like, oh God, no. Because if I get a man that's a mailman, what are my friends gonna say? Oh my God, they're gonna criticize me for dating a mailman. Oh my God, I'm so beyond a mailman. When a lot of y'all look like male women. I mean, y'all could be male women too. I mean, hell, you look like you're a male woman. I could see the postal uniform. So I just think it's just crazy. But child, let's continue.
I can already tell. You want the sensational guy. You want I understand the height factor because you are tall, but you want the man every woman wants. The tall, dark, handsome, protector, provider, good looking, smells good. Yeah, he's wanted by the world. And he knows
Oh my
it.
God. Oh, that's awful. Kendra, that's awful. That's
You're
awful.
funny. You're funny. We got some more fake questions. Um, Coffee Killer said, "Have you ever thought about altering your men picks to more accommodated, realistic outcomes? Oh, to accommodate more realistic outcomes. You may think of yourself as too independent for average available men."
I mean, I am very open minded, almost dangerously open minded. And in my experience, it's been a while since I've actually dated someone. I've always got the short end of the stick, you know? So, like, oh man, I could give you so many examples, but I feel like if I would have, if I keep bending, I don't want to be resentful or unhappy,
But
right? Like,
you say you've never been in a relationship, but you've been in situationships.
no, like just dating. Like I'll date. I'll go on dates and stuff like that. But then, like I said, it's something that things will come up and you're like, I don't know if I can put up with that.
So you don't mind having sex without being in committed relationships.
I have.
Okay. Okay.
I
Let's go to
have.
another question. Ray said, "What can you bring to a man's table that has everything already?"
I mean, I guess what's everything to
I don't
him,
think
you
he has
know?
everything already. I think you don't have any kids, right? Don't you want kids?
No children, no I'm not perfect, right? Like obviously I'm 31 and single for a reason, right? And I don't want to like air
Yes,
myself
you know
out, but like
that.
I'm not perfect,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I don't think of myself as
That's
perfect.
good.
I
Good.
know I need to date and I'm not in male spaces, right? I'm a makeup artist
Mm-hmm.
and an esthetician. I don't come across men in the day to day. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
So, but what I could see myself as a true asset in any person's life, friends, family, I don't fuck up a bag, I'm not crazy, you know what I mean? I don't have baggage. My house is clean even though we're upstairs in my room and I was kind of just laying down watching my favorite streamers on Twitch. I'm very peaceful and like you judge a man by his fruits, right? And I'm a fruitful woman. So whatever I touch turns into gold. And I say that humbly, but I'm a woman of God. And so God has truly blessed me. When I look around and I can literally name the things that I've acquired just by trusting God, by my faith and by the family I come from, So, and I say all these things that I provide.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm a godly woman." It just don't go. It's not in line with the way women move. Just leave that part out. Don't say you're a godly woman because your actions don't prove that. To be a true godly woman and really about God, you wouldn't be out here moving the way you move. I just wish they would leave that out. Just say, and all of these things. It is like, she's, I don't think this has anything to do with, it may, I mean, saying you're a godly woman, it contradicts the fact that you're 31 and you don't have a husband. I'm just saying, if we're going to use God, then if all these things are true about you, you should have a husband at this point and have started a family, in my opinion. So let's just leave God out of it because I don't think God really should be in these conversations because they don't go together. People are talking about you've been sleeping with people and not married. Just leave God out of it because God ain't got nothing to do with none of these decisions. So let's just leave that out because it's not a flex. It don't go. John Baylor Jr. says, "Hey DeeDee, I didn't get a notifications. Got me here extra late. LOL. Anyways, thanks for the content." Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support and for being here. I appreciate you, sir. You know, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all think? I just think leave God out of it. Just do what you want to do. Don't bring God into it because it don't go. It don't match. Like stop. Just do you and stop saying God. Because if it was all about that, it wouldn't be about these superficial things either. It wouldn't be about, oh, you wouldn't be on here saying, oh, hey, it would be about a godly man then, right? It would be about a man that is into God. That'd be the first things that you would be saying. I want a man, because I'm a godly woman. I want a man of God, and I want a man who's about marriage, and I want a man who's following God, and I want him to lead me. Because if you found a man who was like that and he was into you, it wouldn't be all about these superficial things. You would go with the man that is following God, if you're a godly woman. So that, please stop with that, because I don't believe them. I don't believe you.
For myself, and I'm truly at peace, and I imagine what's attached to me. Imagine what I can bring to things that are attached to me. I think about the businesses I worked for. You know, I think about my family, things I bring to them, my friends, my clients, right? Imagine what I would do or add to a man's life, right? I don't know. I've never been in love, never been in a relationship. What do I know? But, and so they say, well, a man has everything. Well, okay. Then what do
I
you
don't
need
know
me
if I agree
for?
with that. I feel like as I sit here, not every man wants to be a husband. So let's start there. So I think
Facts.
a lot of, and not every woman wants to be a wife, but not every man
Yeah.
wants to be a husband. But the men who I feel that I've talked to that have come on the show and have been very clear about marriage, they're usually men who are looking for women that they can partner with and have children with.
Okay.
So I don't think a man's table that wants children, to that last question, is complete if he has no kids. So
Okay.
that's I mean, as I say here, that's the number one thing that a lot of marriage minded men, when they are focusing on that, they're focusing on women that they can have children with and build a life with. So I don't think that man's table is complete.
Well, and also, I mean, the attributes that she mentioned is not what most men are looking for. If a man has everything financially, because that's usually what they're talking about, he wants a woman who's going to come in and basically give him the things that he doesn't have, and children is one of them. So if a man has, his finances in order, he has his businesses taken care of, he's financially stable, he doesn't need you to bring that financial aspect to the table. I think that's what a lot of men were saying when they don't care about a woman's money. Not in a sense of you can't have anything going for yourself. But I think if you're to a point where you're financially set, like you don't really need another income, or you're set financially. If that's the case, you got everything you need financially. You got a house, you got everything lined up for. Now the only other thing I can see that he wants is true love and true peace and a family. He wants to. That's the thing that's missing. It's the very thing that a lot of women are lacking, especially for women who have chased their careers. And they're successful financially, women who have, built a life for themselves and they are financially stable. The things that they are missing is a family. They're missing a husband and children. And a lot of the women who prioritize their careers first, they end up older, at this threshold of not being able to have kids, or they got to freeze their eggs and all of this stuff. And so they end up on the flip side of it as well, where they don't have a husband, they don't have a family, and then a lot of them regret it. I was just watching and did a video on Roxy from 106 in Park and Jaleesa, both of them from 106 in Park, sitting down where they're 40 years old now. And now they're sitting there looking frantic in the face because they've regretted that they didn't have a family, that they didn't create a family, that they put their careers first. And now they're on the other side of that career. The career is not giving them as much, or it's not, it's on the other side of that. And they don't have as much of that career as they had, and they still don't have a family. So I think with women, they get to a point where they realize, dang, I should have prioritized a family first. And, I could have always started a career once the kids are out the way. You could always start a business, but they thought and prioritized their work and all of that first, thinking that they could come back and get the family, and it's not working quite that way. So I think for a man who has it all together, he wants peace. He wants a woman that that can bear his children and create that family. Because to me, being in a big house by yourself, nobody to share it with, is kind of lonely, in my opinion. So who wouldn't want to? Now you've created the space for a family. Because typically, if a man wants to buy a house, he's buying it to hopefully put wife and children in it, right? Or a woman and children, a family. You want a family to raise your children in that house. That's the whole point of it. But for women, they don't seem to understand the things that they focus on is like a man. Oh, I bring my career and I can do so much for you as the man. I can anything I touch turns to gold. What if he has everything? He don't need you for the financials. He needs you to be a loving, peaceful wife who's gonna have his kids and raise his children. He doesn't want a woman who's out there independent boss chick getting to the bag, because he don't need that. So I think that's where women are not really, these independent women aren't ready, willing to do that, because they want to be like a man. They boss chicks like a man. They the boss chicks. They independent. They don't need a man. So they really don't want that. You know what I'm saying? As much as they say they want it, a lot of them don't. So yeah.
Okay.
So, but you have brothers. You can talk to more men about this.
I have an older brother. If I'm 31, he is 38, and then I have a little sister, and she's just turned 24 today. I went to her birthday dinner tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it, Jazzy. So, did I ask you the last question? Why would a guy be lucky to be with you? I don't even know where we are.
No, I was just chatting. Why would a guy be lucky to be with me? I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm just such at peace with my life, and that's just what I touch. I bring happiness. I bring love. I bring peace, like in my personal life. So, why would I mess up what you have going on? Like, I don't want no one to come in my life and disrupt what I have going on. So I wouldn't do that for anyone else. And I'm a good time. I'm well versed. I travel a lot. You know, I like to have a good time. So.
Okay. Did I ask you your 3 flaws? Because I know we kind of went in a tangent.
And y'all let me know if I'm wrong, but this is just my opinion. You can have yours. Well-versed, well-traveled doesn't make you a good woman. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. There's nothing wrong with traveling, but that, once again, the things that women believe makes them special is not the things that men look at. I think men are much more simpler than that. Men ultimately want an attractive woman. They do want a woman that they're attracted to. I mean, it makes sense. But they're not, I've never, seen men who say, oh, I just need a woman who's been all around the world. If anything, the men and the married couples that we've been around, they wanted to do it together. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to do things that that they could build memories together. They wanted to have a woman that they loved, that they're attracted, they want, and really love and be with her, and they do things together. So when you say, as a woman, a single woman, hey, I'm well traveled, I've been all over the world, great for you. There's nothing wrong with that. But that signifies to the man, like, okay, well, we ain't gonna do, maybe we can do that together. But I think men look at things differently from women. Women think their attractiveness is focused on them having a career, having a degree, and being well traveled, and they're good. They can elevate your life. Well, if a man has what he doesn't need you to elevate his life. He just needs you to be a companion, a mother to his children. He needs you to be that peace for him, loving, and you guys reciprocate that, and y'all build things together. Y'all can go travel together. Y'all can have y'all family, and then one day y'all travel with y'all family, and y'all create these memories and a life together. He don't need you for your financial aspect, because he has that covered. If that's the case, if a man, the one who has that together, now he wants to build a family. He want to have that fulfillment in his life with the woman that he loves and his children. That's it. I think men are much more simpler than women think. If you're a woman who's an independent woman and you're still out here chasing your own bag, then he's going to miss out, because you're not going to, you're going to have to walk away from your career to be what he needs you to be, because he don't need you for your money. He needs you for the other things. So you're going to have to put in that time and that effort to establish a family with him, and y'all build that up, and you're going to have to be at home to do that. So I think for the women who want these men with all this money and these men who have options, that's why it don't work out. It doesn't work out. This is why those men don't want these independent women, because they don't need that. They want a woman who's going to bring the other things. And I think that's where the disconnect is, because a lot of these women aren't going to leave their careers. They're happy in their careers, and they want what they want. They've established themselves. They don't want to throw it away for a man. But the type of men that you want don't want these independent type women. Not saying that she can't have anything going for herself, but they want a woman that they can come home to. And, you know, and as much as we talk about this cooking and cleaning, that's what most y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Most of y'all want a woman who can cook, right? You want the simple. So if you come home from work or whatever, you want to come home to some good smelling food, you know, a clean house, your kids are taken care of. You want to come home to a loving wife, you know, who's going to say, what's up, babe? How your day been? You know, and, you know, just be there. Y'all can share things and talk about stuff. And you got a good plate of food, something that you like. You know, on a daily, you can come home to. Most men are simple. Most men want the simplest things, but it's the hardest things for these independent women to do because they don't want to feel like that's what that's all I'm relegated to is being a housewife to cook your meals. Well, that's all the man is asking for. I mean, if you want a provider who's paying all of these things and when you can be at home and not have to go out and work, what's wrong with a meal and a clean house? I mean, and being a wife and to him and things. And I think that's very simple, but I think it's hard for women because they don't want to do that. Classy perspective, all this traveling, a degree, getting and still single. Exactly. Thank you, Classy Perspective, for the super chat. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. So, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to me. And once again, y'all know how I feel about the traveling. I think traveling is fine, but why is so much of it? And why can't you travel with your man? Classy Perspective says, even the men, I guess you don't say, even the men Lisa Ray is around don't want her. Oh my God, child. Facts. She's struggling. They're struggling. They can't find these men who are going to take care of them. They're like, you, child, you old and grown. You could take care of yourself. You don't really need me to take care of you. At this point, you should just be happy to have a man who's going to be with you until the end. I'm just saying. Thank you, Classy Perspective, once again. So, you know, I really don't think that the men are that complicated. I think the women are, because the women want, you know, to be boss chicks, but they still want you to pay for everything. They don't want to spend their money. So you having all these degrees and all this money, you don't want to spend it. You want to hold on to it, and you still want the man to pay for everything. So what's the point? And then he got to pay for everything, but have a woman who doesn't even give him the little basic things that he's asking for. To have a good meal, a woman at home, you know, who supports him and is there for him. And these men aren't asking for much, but a lot of these women don't want to do that. Who you think I am, cooking your food, cleaning? Get a nanny, get a this and get a that. So what? You don't want to do anything. So you can go out and work, save your money, have him paying all the bills. And a lot of these women already got kids. They don't want to have children. So you don't want to have no children. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You don't want to do anything in the house. You want to be outside all the time on these girls' trips. What's the point? He doesn't get anything out of it. So that is the major disconnect. And I think that's why a lot of women will stay single. And now they're just facing the facts that you don't really have the option. So now they're saying, I'm single by choice. So I'm single by choice. So this is what I want and whatever. But they still out here secretly going to dating apps and trying to get men, going to these, what's the tech, Afro tech and all these things, trying to secretly find a man. But you don't really want them. You want one, but you don't really need them, but you want one. Make it make sense. So, baby, listen, it's just a hot mess. And, you know, once again, it's the cycle that keeps on turning. It's the wheel that keeps on turning. It's just over and over and over the same old ish every single day. A lot of these women don't realize where they're making the mistakes at. Or maybe they do. They just don't give a damn. And they're just like, whatever, I'm going to manifest whatever I want, whatever. If I'm going to be a 304, I'm going to be a 304 and I'm proud of it. And whatever I'm going to charge to get my number. You got to pay me to take me out. You got to pay me what you want. You know, give me your price. What you want? Because I'm going to give it to you because I need to get these bills paid. That's what they doing out here. That's what they really, because they've given up. They know ain't too many of these men taking them seriously. So, baby, guess what? Just tell me your price and what you want, because I'm going to tell you how much I'm charging, and that's just what it is. This love-ish, they don't think they're ever going to get it, so they like really just like putting it all out there, putting it on the table. Look, pay me to date me, pay me what else you want. You want to suck on a titty? What you want? That's $50. Like, what do you want? What you want? You want to touch this? What you want? This my price. Just say that, because you don't really think you're going to really get, you know, nothing serious, because you know how you are. Just saying. All right. So on that note, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. Please hit that like button on your way out, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Also, make sure you guys are watching the videos. Go ahead and watch the videos that are posted on the channel, at least the last 2 videos, and hit the like on those videos and share them if you can, you guys. We got to get the views up on the videos that are already posted. That'll help me out so much. So definitely go and support in that way. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Classy Perspective says they're still waiting on Biden to pay that college debt off. Psych. No, ain't no psych. You probably telling the truth. You probably telling the truth, child. I mean, probably are. Hell. But anyway, thank you, Perspective, Classy, for that super chat. I appreciate you. Child, they probably, you ain't psyching. They waiting on it. Shit, probably mad that they ain't got it at this point. Thank you once again, Kelvin Perspective. I appreciate you. I mean, Classy. Child, I call you Kelvin Perspective. Classy. All right, y'all. I gotta get out of here, but thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Once again, y'all go watch the last 2 videos that I posted. Please go watch those videos to help me out. Let's get the numbers up on those videos. Share and like them if you can. Also, hit that notification bell just to make sure you are notified when I go live or post new content, you guys. Stay tuned for more videos to come. I will be posting, try to get more content on this channel for y'all. So make sure you are have that notification bell turned on. If y'all have any suggestions for videos, please send them to my Instagram. Please, I have the Instagram in the description. If you have any content that you want me to review or talk about, please send it to my Instagram. If you have any content you would like me to share or talk about or whatever, please send it to my Instagram and I will definitely get it there. So thank y'all once again. Y'all definitely be safe out here in these streets. Y'all take care and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Later.